Hello and welcome to the second Doctor Who book review of this year, and today I'm going to be reviewing what is quite possibly a really hidden gem of a Doctor Who book, which I don't think a lot of people know an awful lot about, and they probably won't even heard of this novel. But it's one of those sort of neglected Doctor Who books that's sort of been pushed aside and not really, thought of until, people have actually discovered about it. But yeah, this is my Doctor Who book review of a Virgin New adventure called Bad Therapy. I actually read this one before Return of the Living Dad, and basically, it's a really, really good novel. I highly recommend this one, and I'll delve into why I think you should buy it once I go through all the cover art and the description on the back, and basically give you a sort of summary of what goes on in the book, basically, without giving too much away. So the cover, it's really quite nice. I quite like the mannequin drawing on there, and sort of the corpse and the sort of mental asylum at the back there. Quite an effective cover. This copy's quite a battered copy. Well, it's not battered, but it's not the best in the best condition. It's all right, but it's the cover's sort of been bent a little bit and the spine's a bit creased. But other than that, it's not a bad cover. I'm quite lucky to have this one because it's quite rare as well. I got this for about £13, so it's not that bad. I got it for Christmas, as well as The Death of Art, which I haven't actually read yet because I've heard it's not meant to be all that good. So we got Bad Therapy, written by Matthew Jones, who's I don't think he's written a lot for Doctor Who. I think this is his only novel, which is a shame really, because I thought he wrote this book brilliantly, and I wish he did more novels. So we've got the spine there with the nice yellow text and Matthew Jones and Doctor Who logo. So we've got a nice green back, because a lot of the Virgin New Adventures vary in terms of colour scheme and all that. So up here we've got Bad Therapy, an original Doctor Who novel, and the quote here is, "We're not like you, we can't be whole on our own." And then we've got the blurb and all the other stuff at the bottom. So I'll read you the blurb. Seeking respite after the traumatic events in the 13th century, the Doctor and Chris travel to 1950s London. But all is not well in Bohemian Soho. Racist attacks shatter the peace, gangs struggle for territory, and bloodthirsty driverless cab stalks the night. While Chris enjoys himself at a mysterious and exclusive Tropics Club, the Doctor investigates a series of ritualistic murders with an uncommon link. The victims all have no past. Meanwhile, a West End gangster is planning to clean up the town, apparently with the help of the devil himself, and the quiet corridors of an abandoned mental hospital. An enigmatic psychiatrist is conducting some very bad therapy indeed, and the stakes are raised, healing turns to killing, old friends appear in the strangest places, and even toys can have a sinister purpose. And we've got the Doctor Who logo, and the little description here says, Matthew Jones wrote The 9-Day Queen for the Doctor Who short story collection Decalogue 2. He also writes a regular column, Fluid Links, for Marvel's Doctor Who magazine. He lives in East London, and this is his first novel. So yeah, he's only written one of the Doctor Who story for the Decalogue. So yeah, it's kind of a shame because I wish he did more. So yeah, that's the sort of basic description on the back. And as for the actual plot itself, it moves along at a really nice pace. This is one of the more addictive reads for me. I think it's probably one of the best Doctor Who books I've ever read. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it's pretty close up there. I mean, I haven't read that many Doctor Who books, but in terms of what I have read, this is really high up on my list as one of my favourite Doctor Who books, because it's just a really well-paced Seventh Doctor story. And the Seventh Doctor, I think Matthew Jones has characterised him brilliantly. I think he's got the Seventh Doctor spot on here, and as well as for his companion Chris, he's a bit annoying in this because I understand why he's like this, because I don't want to spoil the previous book, So Vile a Sin. He's a bit traumatised by the events in that book because of one particular reason, which I don't really want to get into because it's kind of like a huge spoiler. So I'll try and avoid that. But yeah, he's a bit traumatised by that event, so he's not his usual self. He does get into a bit of a romance with one of the characters called Patsy in the novel, and she's sort of getting annoyed with him because he's still traumatised by that event which happened a while ago, and she's just trying to get him to sort of get over it, and just trying to distract him from it, but he keeps going back to it. He keeps thinking about it, and she's just getting really irritated with it. It gets a bit better towards the end of the book, but still, it's understandable why he's like this, but it's still quite annoying. I really like the idea of the driverless cab, the black cab. It's sort of like an artificial cab that drives around London and pretty much sort of eats people and takes them to a new sort of layer ready to be converted into used for experiments to sort of control the toys, which are basically these mannequins. They're sort of similar to the Autons, but they're not quite the same. They're like artificial humans made from human tissue, and the main villain of the piece tries to use all of them for his own sort of greed and control. And there's also sort of a returning companion in this, but it's quite obscure. I didn't really expect it until I read a review of it, and then I kind of spoiled it for myself, really. But yeah, that was a bit unexpected until I spoiled it for myself. But yeah, I won't tell you who the companion is because that's sort of a major spoiler. But if you read one of the characters' names, she's sort of like a historical figure, which the book sort of makes her out to be, but you realise why towards the end, and the main villain is sort of really in love with her, but she doesn't really love him, and she tries to get back with him. Well, not get back with him. Well, she does, but it's for a purpose, which is sort of to save everyone and make sure he doesn't kill anybody. Because basically, they use the toys to sort of treat new patients in the sort of asylum to basically comfort them, and basically so the actual living humans don't have to do anything. They could just let the toys look after the patients. So it's really quite, a lot of it can be quite disturbing. There's a couple of gangsters in this called I've forgotten their name, but they're quite infamous and quite stupid in places as well, and one of them thinks that the main villain of the piece is actually the devil, and towards the end he sort of realises actually you can't possibly be the devil, and he sort of feels a bit foolish for believing such a ridiculous plan, well, belief that, you know, I can't believe you're actually not the devil after all this time I thought you were, sort of thing. And yeah, the Seventh Doctor sort of nearly gets, well, he gets captured by the black cab and he gets driven to the devil's lair, which yeah, it was quite interesting to see how where the black cab leads people to places, and that was quite interesting as well. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else to say about this, because I can't remember that much about it because I read Return of the Living Dead afterwards, so some of the book is sort of faded from my memory, but from what I remember, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was a cracking read, really addictive. I read this in about, I don't know, maybe 5 days, so it didn't take me a long time to read, and if you ever do come across this book, I highly recommend you pick it up, because it's a really, really enjoyable story, and so yeah, I'll probably give this one a 9 out of 10, so it's a really, really good story, and if you ever do find it in a charity shop, definitely pick it up, because it's one I think you would really enjoy. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I shall see you next time for, I'm not sure what my next review is going to be. I think it'll probably be Shakedown, written by Terrence Dicks. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.